This board is intended to make a PC power supply into like a hobbyist power supply. So you can see there's a whole load of sockets for banana plugs, and they also unscrew here. You can put a wire in here. So we've got all the kind of standard outputs from a PC type power supply. So we've got 3.3 volts, 5 volts, 12 volts and minus 12. So these are all standard voltages that come out of a ATX power supply. And here you see there's a ATX connector, so it's made to directly just plug in. So I've got an old ATX power supply here that came out of something a while back. You see it's a bit grubby, it's a bit dusty from being inside a PC. So we've got one of these kettle lead type connectors on here, and there's a whole variety of cables coming out, which actually you don't sometimes see in new power supplies. They tend to have fewer cables supplied and making them cheaper, I suppose. But but we've got the ATX connector here. So the ATX connector goes in here. It only goes one way, so it's got keyways so that some of them are square, some of them have got rounded edges, and so basically it can only go in one way. It's quite a tight fit, and there's a little catch there to stop it pulling off. So if I put a cable into the power supply, we can fire it up and see what happens. I'm going to actually relocate it around this side because it's going to be closer to the mains plug then. Here we go. So the power's on. There's a LED on the back of the power supply here showing green, so it's on standby. And one of the features of these ATX power supplies is they have a pin on them. I forget what it's called. Let me just have a look. Yeah, so the pin is called PS on. So basically the idea is that when you put a signal on this pin, the power supply switches from standby into fully working mode. And I'm guessing that this switch here that's integrated in here goes into the PS on pin on the connector. So let's switch it on. I don't know if you can hear that, but the fan started whirring in the power supply, and we've got the LED on here, so it's showing that there's some power. Oh yeah, this is quite nice. I didn't mention there are fuses on all of the outputs, so if you pull too much current, the fuses can blow, which is quite a nice feature. If I get my multimeter up, we can have a look and check the voltages. So we've got running 3.3. Yeah, there we go. So we get 3.3 reading, 5 volts, 12 volts, I'm not getting a reading out of that one. What's happening there? Unscrew these a bit. For some reason I'm not getting a -12 reading on here. But then maybe this power supply doesn't provide -12. I don't actually know. I mean, in the old days, there used to be -12 inside computers for things like running the serial interface, which needs plus or minus 12 volts, but these days those things are not needed so much. Now I'm guessing that all of the grounds are just connected up, so I guess I could check that. Let's just switch it off while we do that. Yeah, so actually all of these ground connectors, posts, binding posts, all connected to the same ground. So that's really all there is to it. I mean, they've put some screw mounts here so that you can obviously make that into some kind of front panel for your power supply. In fact, I built something years ago, so a power supply that was a bench power supply that was based on one of these ATX power supplies. It's long since been dismantled now, but I did show it in a video a couple of years ago before I tore it down again. I'll link that up below if you want to have a look at that. So I mean, I've got a different power supply now. I've got one based on an element where you can regulator where you can set current limits and power limits and so on, which is actually a bit more useful in the context of electronics hobbies, because one of the downsides of this kind of thing is that a lot of these connectors, especially the 5 volt and the 3 volt, can provide many amps of current. So if you short circuit something by mistake, then potentially a massive amount of current can go through your test equipment and probably burn it up. So they're not ideal for all circumstances, but I mean, this is quite a nice thing. You know, it wasn't expensive. I think I got it from icstation.com, and it allows you to very simply and quickly build a power supply that looks quite decent. So thanks very much for watching. See you in the next video.